I'm going to be completely honest here. I didn't know anything about the community post that Helen had put out about her and Martin going their separate ways. I only just found out just a minute ago. Literally just a minute ago. I went to sleep last night, didn't know anything about it, got up, didn't know anything about it. I was recording this podcast, knew nothing about it until suddenly I got a CP post come up in my browser. And this is what I want to say and get it out of the way. I wish Helen all the best in the world. I didn't think that Martin was all that he claimed to be, but it's none of my business. And it's her business what she wants to do with her life. But I wish Helen the very best in life. And I feel sorry for all that's transpired between us. And I really, really, really hope that Helen does find happiness, whether it be with somebody else or herself. I think Helen deserves happiness. I don't think that she deserved all that was put in her direction from a certain side. Yes, Helen and I have had a difficult or challenging past with each other, but I wish her nothing but good health, happiness, safety. I wish Helen all the best, and I really, really mean that. And I don't feel any happiness in the news at all. I just hope that Helen can find peace and happiness and that she's left alone by people from the other side. I wish you all the best, Helen. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. And I wish you well on your journey. And you've got a beautiful family, and I hope that you'll be fine. And that's all I want to say about this. Hey guys, I hope you're all enjoying the new year. As for me, I'm not particularly enjoying the new year. My head is still back at Christmas. Haven't taken my main Christmas tree down yet. The lights are still going on automatically at around 4 or 5 o'clock, and I'm lighting my candles. And I'm still in Christmas mode, and I can't leave it. I just can't get my new year started. I just can't take anything down. I'm still in Christmas mode, and I'm holding on to Christmas. And that might sound really odd, but I don't want Christmas to end. And I know that sounds really odd, but I'm just still back in Christmas mode. Haven't taken my tree down. And as soon as it gets dark, my tree's lighting again and blinking, and all the lights are going on, and I'm turning on my candles, and I'm still in Christmas mode. I just can't get the new year started, and I don't know how to. So I think it's important that I share with you, when I'm not feeling great and when I am feeling great, and show you all the facets of myself, because I'm a completely imperfect and flawed human being. And I can't pretend that I'm doing well all the time. I just don't have the gumption to be, false. I just have to be myself. And, like I said, my new year hasn't started. I'm just not in new year mode. And all the things that have happened in new year. You've had the earthquake in Japan. You've had flooding in England. We haven't had any flooding. Thankfully, we've escaped it. Then you've had someone supermanning over a judge. That viral video that went viral. I'll talk about it in another podcast. So many things happening this new year. And as for the weather in England and the flooding, well, for weeks I've been hearing, snow is on the way. It's coming. And I still haven't seen not even a lick of snow. So I don't know who's telling them. I don't know why they give these people these weather jobs, because they always get it wrong. We haven't had any snow. I'm still waiting. Thankfully, even though England is flooding, and that's making worldwide news, thankfully I haven't had any flooding either. I'm so grateful for that. We haven't had any floods. It doesn't really happen here because we're not near to a river or a lake or a canal or anything like that. If I was sitting in the living room and it started flooding, I would have such an anxiety. I would be in such an anxiety-ridden state. I would literally just have a meltdown. I wouldn't be able to handle it. I see people whose houses have been flooded completely. They're having to stay in tents or staying the nights at hotels and stuff like that. and they have such a positive attitude. I wish I could be like that. If everything got flooded here, everything would be ruined. I wouldn't be able to do my podcast. I wouldn't be able to do anything. I wouldn't be able to watch the TV. I wouldn't be able to use my computer. I wouldn't be able to use the microwave. I wouldn't be able to do my washing. I wouldn't be able to do anything. I would just not be able to function at all. So this is going to be a bit of rambling today, but I'm also going to talk about some of the latest stuff that's been coming from certain channels about Sherilyn Cadle and the things that have been said about her. And people are still trying to ride this what's gravy train. And I've got a message for Ronnie and Cindy. You can be in denial all you want. You can be in denial for the rest of your life. I guess it's part of the process. And who knows how I would be. It's biologically impossible for me to have Chris as a son because I'm not old enough. I couldn't be his mother. But, if one day I had a son and he grew up to be like Chris, who knows how I would react? Who knows? I'm not old enough to be his mother. I couldn't have had him. I couldn't have given birth to him because I'm not old enough. I'm nowhere near the age of Cindy and Ronnie, so I don't know what I would, be like. I'm so much younger than them. So, but it's time to really get real with both of you and say, there's only one person that did all this, and that's Chris, your son. And you can live in denial for the rest of your life, but it's not going to change the trajectory of his life because he's never going to come out and have Christmas dinner with you folks. He's never going to be at the dinner table. He's always going to be, somewhere else. He's never going to be with you guys again. So you can be in denial all you like, and you can put the projection onto other people. You can say it's D.A. Rourke, it's Graham Coder, it's Tammy Lee, it's Shanann, it's NK. But the fact of the matter is, no one else is responsible and no one else will ever be held responsible. So you can decide to be in denial for the rest of your life, but it's not going to benefit you and it's not going to benefit your son. So that's the message that I want to send to you. Has anyone seen Lycan lately? I've been hearing bits about him here and there. And for anyone who doesn't know, Lycan, which is not his real name, and I'm not going to say his real name on here, Lycan was a creator that basically is in the Natasha Cooper category and shouldn't really be here still. But he still comes back and he's had various channels and I can't keep up with them. He visits my channel every now and then and he will probably watch this video when he sees Lycan on the thumbnail. And he dated this girl called Tiffany. And then they got into it with each other, back and forth with each other. They had a falling out, got into a back and forth with each other. And then he started dating, or at least he saw on one occasion, Amber. And Amber is a woman that was associated with BAM for a short time and stuff happened there either. Anyway, I don't want to say anything. Put it this way. The long and the short of it is, Lycan was dating a girl called Tiffany. They broke up. Then he started with Amber. They had a little bit of a date, a bit of a dalliance. And I was listening to Country Joe the other day, a live stream by Country Joe, who I've heard about, but I don't know the channel very well. And I just decided to click on Country Joe. And I got a little bit of information. And it was gossip. And my channel is partly gossip and commentary and other things. And, I heard this person say that when Amber was with Lycan, he was on the phone to Tiffany, telling Tiffany that he still loved her. But Lycan told me a completely different story. Lycan told me that Tiffany wasn't a good person, that I should do some research on Tiffany, and that he was no longer interested in her. So I'm kind of thinking Lycan is playing a little game. He's playing a game and he's very successful at it. And he's got these people on his strings and he's playing a very, very, he's playing a game with these people. He's playing a game with women. And my advice to women would be to not allow him to play you. Take yourself out of his equation. Don't allow him to play you. I have no problem with Lycan. Lycan and I have had civil correspondences, But, the gist that I'm getting with Lycan is that he's playing a game. He's got people on his string and he's stringing people along. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. And I don't have enough information. I'm not going to say that I know everything about him, because I don't. But the vibe I'm getting is that he's playing people. And that's just my opinion. So according to a certain channel or certain channels, Sherilyn Cadle is not all that she presented herself to be. Oh my God! Really? All of you channels who are saying that about her, and I don't disagree. I don't think she's who she presents herself to be. But all of you channels who are saying that about her, you'll know better either. So it seems to me that Sherilyn Cadle did some little bobs, weaves and dips to get into the favor of Cindy Watts, because Cindy Watts wants to believe that her son had minimal contribution to what happened, and he's just her sweet little son, and he's just a sweet boy, and he's so caring and he's so loving, and he would never do any of this. So it seems like Sherilyn Cadle knew this about Cindy Watts and decided that she was going to play a little game with Cindy Watts to gain her favor. And it seems to me that's possibly what happened. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, because the channel that this is coming from, I know for a fact that this is not a sanctimonious person, and this person isn't a saint themselves and doesn't necessarily tell the truth themselves. And the texts that were shown, I don't know if they're real, because, he has a way of making up texts that don't exist. So however, if I'm going to give this story the benefit of the doubt, it seems that Sherilyn Cadle approached Cindy with the notion that she believed that Chris didn't do any of this, or he didn't do the extreme of it, that it was Shanann or NK who put ideas into his head, which is absolute nonsense. And that was her way to gain favor with the family. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but that's how people operate. A lot of people operate by trying to find out what a person wants to hear and delivering what a person wants to hear to that person. Like, for example, AD and the other channels like that, they give people what people want to hear rather than what's necessarily the truth. So Cindy probably was a bit more open with Sherilyn in the beginning than she might have been, because she may have thought, or Sherilyn Cadle might have pretended that she believed that Chris was all sweet and innocent and couldn't have done this by himself, and that the fingers were to be pointed at Nicole or Shanann, which is what Cindy wants to believe. That's the story that she holds on to, that it wasn't her son. I wouldn't be surprised if Sherilyn Cadle came to Cindy Watts and with the notion that, poor little Quissy boy couldn't have done this. He's so sweet. Your poor son. I wouldn't have been surprised if Sherilyn Cadle came to Cindy Watts with the notion that, somebody else must have put the idea into his head, or it was somebody else's doing. Not surprising to me at all. And this is what I have to say about that. The channels who are saying this about Cadle and Cadle herself, neither of these are honest. Sherilyn Cadle isn't the beacon of honesty, and neither are the channels who are saying that she isn't the beacon of honesty. Neither are they honest either. So, there's a game being played there as well, and it's just trying to outdo each other, outsmart each other. And, the truth of the matter is that this case is closed and it's over and it's done, and people are trying to put new life into it to make it so it goes on forever, and to hold people's interest, and to send people on a ride and a journey that will eventually lead to nowhere, because nothing is going to change. No one else is going to be added to the equation. Co-workers, NK, nobody else is going to be sitting where he is. So, they're going to use content, and they're going to make up stories, and they're going to make up myths and whatever. Both Sherilyn, I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't Sherilyn's last book, because she's still riding the gravy train. But so are those channels who are saying this about her. They're still riding the What's Gravy train as well.